What if I told you even after learning the verb SER, 1 out of 5 students still get the verb SER wrong every single time? Today, we're making sure you're not that one. By the end of this video, you'll know how to use the verb SER with confidence in real life conversation. No more second guessing yourself because today, I'm breaking down the verb SER step by step. We've got real life examples, real time practice, and a quick quiz to cap things off. By the end of today's video, you'll never doubt when to use the verb SER again. Let's get into it. So what makes the verb SER different from every other verb? It's not just to be, it's the backbone of identity in Spanish. In English, ser significa to be, but we don't use it for everything. We use ser when we talk about things that normally do not change. In other words, your name, how tall you are, where you're from, or what something is. And then, of course, nowadays, people change their height, but that's another story. Hola, futuros hispanohablantes, soy Profe Don Omar, and I've been teaching Spanish for over 25 years. If you're new here, this channel helps busy adults speak Spanish with confidence in the real world. Check this out. If you've been struggling with the verb ser, or rather, this is your first experience with the verb ser, bueno, you're in the right place. Because today we're doing a deep dive into el verbo ser, uno de los verbos más importantes en español. One of the most important verbs in Spanish. Mira estos ejemplos. Tenemos, yo soy Omar, tú eres de Nueva York, y hoy es jueves. Each of these phrases uses a form of the verb ser. They also support el concepto de talking about things that don't normally change. Por ejemplo, yo soy Omar, my name doesn't change. Tú eres de Nueva York, where you're from will never change. Y hoy es jueves. It's a fact that today is Thursday, but all day long, it's a fact that that is the day and it does not change until another day. And that day is that day. Ahora repita. Soy, eres, es. Otra vez. Soy, eres, es. Excelente. Now, I want to make sure you get this. Primeramente, if you are memorizing a chart, alto. Párate. Stop. I want you to learn ser y otros verbos naturalmente. I want you to learn the verb ser and other verbs naturally. Conjugation charts are one of the most outdated and useless ways to learn to communicate in Spanish. Let's make these mentally stick by painting a picture. Por ejemplo, yo soy. I am. Nosotros somos. We are. Y ahora tenemos una pruebita rápida. Mira esta pregunta aquí. ¿Cómo se dice we are friends en español? La letra A, nosotros somos amigos. La letra B, nosotros estamos amigos. O la letra C, nosotros tenemos amigos. ¿Cuál? If you're enjoying this lesson so far, be sure to give it a like and make sure to share it with somebody you know that is trying to learn Spanish as well. This could be the breakthrough they need to get through learning how to conjugate verbs in español. Now, let's get back to the rest of the video. If you chose la letra A, excelente, bien hecho. Buen trabajo. Bueno, here's where ser shows up in real life situations. Por ejemplo, yo soy Omar. Ella es mi novia. We're talking about identidad, identity. With origin, por ejemplo, yo soy de Carolina del Norte. Ellos son de Puerto Rico. Con la hora, día y fecha. Time, day, or date. Por ejemplo, son las 3:30 o son las 3:30. No importa. Hoy es viernes. Es el 28 de agosto. Con características, with characteristics. El café es caliente. On a normal basis, nowadays it can be cold or hot. But when we think about coffee, or when we think about café, the normal characteristic of café es caliente. It's hot. Otro ejemplo. La casa es grande. La casa es grande. With traits, like physical or personality-wise, with traits, check this out. If we're thinking about con una profesión o un oficio, mi padre es profesor. Mi mamá es médica. Con relaciones, think about family, with relationships. Él es mi hermano. Ella es mi hija. Y también con relaciones podemos decir, and with relationships, we could say, Juan y Pablo son hermanos. Juan y Pablo son hermanos. Juan and Pablo, John and Paul, are brothers. Now, by the end of the video, you have all the different ways to use the verb ser, which is to be, all the different forms to make sure your subject agrees with your verb. We've got I am, yo soy, you are, tú eres. We've got él y ella es, he or she is. We've got usted es, you are. También tenemos nosotros somos, we are. Vosotros sois, y'all are in España. Ellos, ellas son, they are. Y también ustedes son, you all or y'all are, which is the same as vosotros, pero en Latinoamérica usamos ustedes. So we use ustedes as y'all, but in España, they use ustedes as a formal you all. Let me know in the comments, are you tracking this information or do you need further insight? Y también usamos ser, we use ser, con eventos. Mira, la fiesta es en mi casa. La reunión es en la biblioteca. Tenemos otra pruebita rápida. We've got another quick quiz for you. Rellena los espacios en blanco. Completa la oración con voz alta. Fill in the blank here. And I want you to complete the sentence out loud. So I want you to say your answer out loud so you can practice after me. All right? But you fill in the blank with your answer. Yo soy. Mi mejor amigo es. La fiesta es en. You fill in the blank. Now, I want you to say these out loud, but also leave a comment below with your answers to the quiz questions. That'd be super cool to know what all your answers are in the comment section below. So with these power tips today, I'm going to show you how to never second guess yourself when you need to use the verb ser. Check this out. The first thing I need you to know are these bars or this phrase to help you remind yourself when to use the verb ser. To talk about who we are and from where, always use the verb ser. I know. I'm going to say it again. To talk about who we are and from where, always use the verb ser. Now, we could break that down, but I think you kind of understand. We use the verb ser for permanent traits. We use ser for time and day or date, and we also use it for talking about where an event takes place. When in doubt, use the acronym Dr. W to help you out. I'm full of bars today. It's Freestyle Friday. When in doubt, use the acronym Dr. W to help you out. And I'll post a link to the video where I talk more about doctor, another acronym that goes with another verb, to be. That's coming up later. I'll talk about that in a second. Tenemos otro ejemplo. Ella es aburrida. She is boring. We're describing her personality. Ella es aburrida. Paco es muy listo. Paco es muy listo. Paco is very smart. Once again, we're describing characteristics or traits. So before we land the plane, let's go over the top 5 beginner questions about the verb ser. Número uno. Can I always use ser for to be? No. No podemos hacerlo. Sometimes tenemos que usar el verbo estar. Sometimes we have to use the verb estar. Once again, I'm going to leave the link to that video below. Is ser an irregular verb? Yes, it is completely irregular, but constant repetitions of using the different forms of the verb ser will make them stick a lot easier. So doing the example quiz questions that we had earlier, yo soy Omar, tú eres mi amigo, él es Rudolfo, whatever your sentence may be, but doing constant conjugations in real life situation context will help you to remember all the different forms of the verb ser. Número 3. Do all Spanish speakers use vosotros sois? No. It's predominantly used with Spaniards in Spain and in pockets throughout Latin America. Número 4. Can ser describe location? Only where an event takes place. La fiesta es en mi casa. La reunión es en mi biblioteca. Those were our 2 examples, and those are where 2 events take place. Y número 5. How do I avoid mixing up ser and estar? Remember, you can always use the acronym Dr. W to determine if ser should be used. Link will be in the description. Entonces ahora tenemos la pruebita final. Now we have our final quiz. A ti te toca. ¿Puedes rellenar los espacios en blanco? Mira, número 1. Yo, estudiante. ¿Cuál es la forma correcta del verbo ser aquí? What is the correct form of the verb ser here? Número 2. Ellos de Colombia. Hoy, martes. Tú, mi mejor amigo. Nosotros, maestros. Ellos, amigos. Ustedes, listos. Now that you know how to use the verb ser in real life conversations, rewatch this video, repeat the practice parts, and test yourself. But check this out. To let me know you got all of this, type in to talk about who we are and from where, always use the verb ser. Type that in the comments below to let me know that you made it to the end of this video. Now, what's absolutely insane for us English speakers is that in Spanish, there's another verb that we use to talk about to be. And it's the verb estar. So click this video right here where I break down when to use ser versus estar, and I'll see you over there. Soy Profe Don Omar, your guide to how to speak Spanish now. Nos vemos.